leaders, and your Taylor Trojans. As a Champions of Character institution, Taylor University asks each of you to embrace the NAIA's 5 core character values of respect, integrity, responsibility, sportsmanship, and servant leadership. Create a positive environment throughout tonight's contest. Now, tonight's starting lineups. First, our visitors from Mount Vernon Nazarene. Starting at forward, 6'5" sophomore, number 2, Vernon Nazarene. At guard, 6'4" sophomore, number 3, Vernon. At forward, the 6'6" junior, number 12, Eric Crawford. At forward, the 6'10" junior, number 20, Kyle Begley. And at guard, 6'4" freshman, number 34, Carter Jones. The Cougars are coached by Jared Renee, and assisted by Brad Pepperman and Dan Chamberlain. And fans, we are compete for the starting lineup, your Taylor Trojans. Starting forward, 6'6" senior from Mansburg, Ohio, Jason Hubbard. At guard, 6'1" sophomore from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, number 2, Gavin Moon. At guard, 6'1" freshman from Hamilton, Ohio, number 10, Jackson Moon. At guard, 6'4" sophomore from Wooded Township, Ohio, number 15, Ben Hooven. And at guard, 6'4" senior from Woodford, Indiana, number 34, Aaron Hahn. Your Trojans are coached by Josh Anderson, assisted by Al Wilson.
So there's the starting lineup, the traditional starting lineup for the Trojans in the last couple of games. Hubbard, Yoon, Lewis, Furman, and Hahn. Klein, Rugsager, McLaughlin, Kegley, and Jones, the 5 out there for MVNU. Taylor trying to avenge a 20-point loss at Mount Vernon Nazarene earlier this season. As Hubbard and Kegley will jump, it's one to the front court by Taylor and Jackson Lewis. Out to Furman, who missed Saturday's game in Marion. Tiptoes the baseline, but not enough. And it goes out and quickly, 9 seconds in, 10 seconds in, it goes over to MVNU on the turnover. Taylor comes in 7-13 overall, 3-6 in the Crossroads League, tied for 7th right now with Huntington. But they have sole possession of 7th because they swept the season series with the Foresters. Mount Vernon Nazarene in 5th. They're just 6-5, a game up on Huntington and Taylor. Right down low to Kegley. He turns around and puts it in with the right hand. Kyle Kegley grew an inch a year ago, the junior transfer from Urbana. In his second season at MVNU, 6'10", and he has MVNU on the board up early, 2-0. Here's Hubbard, defended by Pline. 3-point shot, long. Hahn tracks and rebounds away from Kegley. Down the paint to Hubbard through contact. A late whistle will send Hubbard to the line for 2 free throws. Foul on Carter Jones, his first, team's first. Jones, a 6'4" freshman from Centerburg, Ohio. So make it Taylor 8-15 on the year. 4-8 in conference play. And the first one long from Hubbard, normally an excellent free throw shooter. One more to draw Taylor to within 1. Hubbard 74% from the line this season. Missed the first, makes the second, and Taylor's on the board thanks to their leading score. It's 2-1 MVNU, and quickly the Trojans will go to the full court press. This worked well in stints in the last couple of weeks, trying to turn it on earlier here than instead in the later games like they have in the couple pass out. Pline goes in, smacked on the arm by Hubbard, fights through contact, lays it in, and will go to the line for a chance at a 3-point play. give the foul to Jackson Lewis, his first. First hoop for Pline and a chance for the and one. 4-1, the MVNU lead. Pline shooting 68% from the line in his sophomore season. Free throw is up and good. 3 for Pline. 5-1 MVNU. They've made both their field goals. The Trojans have missed their only attempt. That was the Hubbard 3. Yoon on the near side. Bounces it inside the arc, near side to Hahn. Defended by the 6'10 Kegley. Hahn, a handoff to Hubbard around the Hahn screen. Hangs, hits from about 15 feet over Kegley. 3 for Hubbard. He's got all 3 of Taylor's points, and the Trojans back to within a deuce. Cade Rugsager from right to left in blue. To the top, and Eric McLaughlin, defended by Hubbard. Right side to Kegley. Whips the pass in with a one-hand to Pline. Kegley thought about a 3, near side McLaughlin. Shakes away as he was defended by Hubbard. Down the left side of the lane, Pline, right-hand turnaround floater over the returning Caden Furman. 5 straight here for Pline after Kegley got MVNU on the board on their opening possession. It's 7-3 visitors. Furman, left side circle Hubbard, turns and faces the basket as Pline gives him space. Lewis back to Hubbard, just outside the right elbow. One dribble handoff, Furman tries to turn the corner, cut off by both Kegley and Rugsager. Out to Hahn, an excellent three-point shooter. That one might have been tipped by Kegley. The ball pinballed around and finally gathered in far side by Jones of Mount Vernon Nazarene in front of his bench. McLaughlin around a cut to the near side of the youngster Jones. Mid-post left and Rugsager, one-on-one with Furman. Out to Jones, the lefty thought about a 3, out to McLaughlin. Taylor went under the 3, and McLaughlin makes him pay with a nothing-but-net triple. McLaughlin, 49% from 3, and a defensive miscue there by Taylor. Trojans down by an early 7, their biggest hole here in the first 2.5 minutes. Furman cuts, and he lays it in right hand off the feed left corner from Yoon. Taylor desperately missed the 16 a game of Furman on Saturday at Marion, a game that they had defensively locked down in the first half, but then could not get a bucket needed in the second. Rugsager off the cut, Pline. Taylor gives him space. Kegley out to the free throw line, defended by Hahn. Hubbard there to help. Shot clock down to 8. Jones goes in. Yoon trying to poke it away. Jones missed a point-blank layup. He got his own miss and laid it in with the left hand, overpowering 2 different Taylor defenders. Taylor fronted the post. They went for the steal, missed, but Jones couldn't put it in from right in front after he, on the initial try, then got it back. Back to a 7-point MVNU lead. They are 5 of 6 from the floor. Taylor just 2 of 4. Hubbard tried to back down Pline. Ball knocked away. He got it back. 10 to shoot. Lewis on the perimeter right. Hubbard hands it off. Lewis trying to get his second 3 of as many games, and he does. Quick release there for the freshman Jackson Lewis, is starting to show a little more confidence in that triple try. And Taylor back to within 4. MVNU from right to left in blue with white numbers and white letters and blue paw prints up and down the side of the white piping. Pass was tapped by Hahn. Rugsager got it in, trying to bully ball on Lewis, and the stronger and the bigger Rugsager overpowered Lewis for a 2. Back to a 6-point MVNU lead. They've led by as many as 7 here in the early going. Yoon with his gold Nike shoes to the perimeter right in Hubbard. Furman, the same gold shoes as Yoon, lets her fly from 3. Cash for Caden Furman from deep. 5 for Furman, who hasn't missed a step after not playing last Saturday at Marion, and the Trojans to within a possession. Pline looks Kegley's way. Instead, they thought about reversing the ball. McLaughlin comes back near sideline Kegley. The 6'10 big man bodies with Hahn, who stands his ground. Kegley goes in, head fake, off balance, lefty shot, dances halfway out. The ball got tipped back to him. Hahn goes up, took it right out of his mitts, but then Kegley dives on the floor, throws it down, and then playing keep away is Pline from Hubbard. The Taylor students scream that Pline stepped out of bounds, but then Jones will be the one to step away in the near side corner as those sitting in the front row get an earful from one of our officials. A talking to for the Taylor students in row 1. Emphatic that a call was missed. Media timeout, 15-10 to go first half. 3-point MVNU lead on the Trojan Sports Network.
to be your nephew's #1 fan. Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink.
Three-point Mount Vernon Nazarene lead out of the media timeout after they turn it over for the first time tonight. Furman, left side, drives, pulls up, his shot swatted away, lands on the baseline. Good block from Cade Rugsager, the 6'4 sophomore from Dover, Ohio. Taylor 4 of 7 from the floor. Mount Vernon Nazarene 6 of 8. Trojans made 2 of their 4 3-point tries. Hahn sends it near side to Yoon. No changes to either 5 on the floor. Actually make it Clay Hilliard in here for MVNU. Hubbard finds Hahn wide open, lurking. Couldn't get the reverse layup, but got his own miss. Lewis around the arc, 3-ball. Yoon short off the far side of the rim as Hahn snuck away from the unsuspecting Kegley. Jones, the lefty freshman, a 3. Nope, right side short. Hahn fights it away from the taller Kegley, and up the floor comes Hubbard on a 3-on-3. Right to the rim, Kegley trails and almost blocked the shot out of bounds with his right elbow. 2 subs in for Taylor. Grant Niehaus, Jeff Clayton replacing Furman and Hahn. Remember, no Furman for Taylor on Saturday, had a lower body injury. Has come back tonight looking refreshed and bouncy. Hubbard fakes the handoff, now near side to Lewis. Thought about a 3 over his freshman counterpart Jones. Niehaus now operates up top, near side to Yoon inside the arc. Far side to Lewis, Jones guards him. Crossover, beautifully done, circus layup. Jackson Lewis just couldn't get the spin, but Clayton's there for the miss. It serpentines and drops. And that draws Taylor to within 1. Lewis with a highlight reel move except for the finish. Pline barrels into Niehaus, and it's a block on Niehaus. First on Grant, second on Taylor here in the half. That'll send Pline to the line for 2, where he is shooting just 68% here his freshman season. One-point MVNU lead. They've led by as many as 7. The first on the tippy toes is good for Pline. Gichero Burica in for MVNU. He takes the spot of Carter Jones. Hilliard came in during the timeout. He took the spot of McLaughlin. Pline averaging 4 points per game this year. He's already got 6, and that'll stay that way as that free throw rolls off the rim. Still a 2-point MVNU lead just over 4 minutes into the second half. Niehaus operates, finds Yoon, off-ball cut. Hubbard got him free. Yoon knew it was missed when it left his hand. It's an air ball, and Yoon starts 0 of 2 from distance. Off the floor, Rugsager from right to left in blue for the leading Mount Vernon Nazarene Cougars. Kegley v. Hubbard. Out, good head fake and drive Pline. Niehaus able to recover. Kegley bluffs on a 3 and stops on the right side circle. Hilliard, the Plymouth, Indiana native, around the big Kegley screen, fires a 3 short. Good box out, Clayton to haul in the miss. Mount Vernon Nazarene 1 of 3 from distance. The Trojans are 2 of 6. Inside the left side arc in the corner is Hubbard. 7 minutes into the opening half, Taylor down by 2. Niehaus wanted to step into a 3. Taylor swings it near side to Lewis. Handoff from Hubbard. Lewis in the air. Yoon, head fake, lets a 3 go off the left side of the rim. Clayton there to haul in the miss for Taylor, and the shot clock will reset to 20. Handoff, Yoon explodes on the baseline. In trouble. Free throw line for the tie. Hubbard, yep. 5 for Hubbard, matches Furman's 5. Everyone chasing Pline's game-high 6. For the game, even at 15. Here's Pline holding off of his left hip. Rugsager up top, lefty drive on Yoon, got his hands on the ball once and twice. knocked it out of bounds, and it stays here with the visitors from Ohio. Jackson Lewis gets his first breather along with Gavin Yoon. Jacob Kinsey makes his first appearance. And Caden Furman comes back in for Taylor. Kyle Kegley, the 6'10 big man out, who reclassified as a junior after entering as a junior a year ago. And he comes in with Carter Jones taking his spot. Barica banging with Clayton. Hubbard comes up trying to tie him up. And they'll get a reach-in foul on either Hubbard or Clayton. It's on Jeff. That's his first. And number 3 against Taylor here in the first 20 minutes. Cameron McKenzie makes his first appearance of the night. He comes in and takes a spot of Pline in the MVNU lineup. McKenzie, 6'3 freshman out of Cincinnati. A little bit of sports news coming out of the Natty over the weekend. Inbounds to Burica through Clayton, missed the shot. Clayton saying it was all ball, but they'll say he got him on the forearm. Back-to-back fouls on Clayton. And we'll see how quickly the Trojans get Hahn back in there for Jeff. And a quick swig of the water, and here comes Hahn. Tough break for Taylor. Clayton's been really strong here in the first couple of minutes, fighting for rebounds. Burica to the line, shooting just 65%. Flick of the wrist and a swish for 5 in blue. So Hahn back in to replace Clayton, who's got to take a seat with those 2 personal fouls. Burica, 6'9", freshman from the Netherlands. His second year at MVNU, misses this one off the right side of the rim. Still a 1-point lead for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Taylor looking for their first lead of the night. Hubbard trying to give it with a step-in 2-3, missed it short. Pitching it back out was Hahn on the miss. Hubbard 0 of 2 from distance. The Trojans are 2 of 7. Handoff Niehaus from Hubbard, turning the corner, stops, bangs, trying to clear space. Niehaus' shot was blocked by Rugseger. Second swat for the guard, Rugseger. And now he'll glide up the floor between the legs, bounce, spins, back, almost got caught, and he did with the travel. One too many moves there for Rugseger, who's a really fun player to watch, averaging 14 points per ball game. 16-15 the MVNU lead. Visitors shooting 6 of 10 from the floor. Taylor just 6 of 17. Furman driving on McKenzie, got away with a push. Bank shot was missed badly on the near side glass, and it's the Cougars up the other way with the Indiana native Hilliard. Against Kinsey, far corner, 3-point shot. Rugseger, long off the near side rim, tapped away, but able to gather it in is Burica. Into the paint, the freshman Jones. Beautiful spin, lefty shot, put his home for 2 more for Carter Jones. Little shoulder shake, went back to the baseline left and finishes with that left hand. 3-point advantage for MVNU, 18-15. Hubbard inside the arc, far side. Will hand off to Hahn, trying to tie the game with a 3. Back rim long, tapping it out Niehaus to Furman. Couldn't let her fly from 3 for the tie. Hubbard thought about re-engaging. Jabbing, Burica daring him to shoot. So Hubbard does. Missing it short again. 0 of 4 is Hubbard from 3-point distance. After a white-hot start from the floor, MVNU is cooled. Hilliard will step into a 3, and that's not what Taylor wants to see. Hilliard can get hot her in a hurry, 15 off the bench this season. And that'll force a 30-second Taylor timeout as they trail by a game-high 6, 21-15 on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
.10:44 to go first half. It's a 6-point Mount Vernon Nazarene lead, one off of their game high of 7, which was at 10-3. Lewis back in out of the timeout out there with Niehaus, Hahn, Furman, and Kinsey. So Hubbard, the one getting the breather for Taylor. Man-to-man defense, Hilliard guarding Kinsey. Furman, left three shy, off back of the rim. Good read by Lewis to get the miss. Now he's caught in trouble. Niehaus will fire a three ball. That one missed off the near side. Hahn with another offensive rebound. The Trojans unable to find any looks from three so far outside of the Furman make to start his night off. Backdoor cut, Lewis, beautiful find, but another miss on the try of a reverse try from Jackson Lewis. Hilliard stops and pops a three, front rim no, and that's a one-hand rebound for Caden Furman of Taylor. Lewis will glide up the far sideline. Kegley ready to come back in for MVNU. Hahn, a three over Burica. Finally a three goes. First basket for Hahn, third triple for the Trojans. And they're back to within three. McKenzie, Hilliard, clapped for it, didn't get it as he was free. Jones left side circle, now to Hilliard between the circles. Fakes right, goes left, falls down. Jackson Lewis picks it up. 2-on-2 with Niehaus. Left side goes up strong. His shot is thwarted by McLaughlin at the rim. Looks to be an easy bucket for the Trojans. McKenzie on the other end, and it's a 4-point swing as McKenzie hits a left elbow jumper. Back to a 5-point Mount Vernon Nazarene lead. Taylor just has not been clean on a couple of wide open opportunities here so far. Hahn hands off to Kinsey, turns the corner to greatness, but his right-hand flip is just off the rim. That's three missed layups for the freshman guards, Lewis and Kinsey. McKenzie drives, fakes, spins, league logo, right-hand hook, catches the left rim and goes home. 4 in a row for Cameron McKenzie. Right after the three-point shot by Hahn, the Trojans look to be getting right back into it. Now they find themselves down by game-high tying 7, and that brings Hubbard and Yoon to the scores table. Lewis goes around the Hahn left side screen, blows by Jones, got him to fake away, and the little jump shot will roll off the rim as Lewis cannot find the bottom of the cup. Lewis 1 of 4, 2 missed free throws, and a miss on the short jump shot. Hilliard attacks with the left hand, pitching out to McLaughlin. Inside the near side arc in the corner is Jones. Plenty of time left, 8:23. Prayer of a three from Hilliard trying to get going on a heat check. Missed near side, he's 1 of 4 from distance. Taylor with a rock down 7. Hahn sets a screen for Lewis. Niehaus dribbling on the far side, a handoff to Furman. 3, Taylor subs about to come in. Wide open, Kinsey drives, back to the screener, Hahn. He's open for a long 2 and hits it from the near side. Toe was on the line for Aaron Hahn, but the Trojans back to within 5, 25-20. The Taylor deficit, less than 8 to go here in the first half. Burica, beautiful steal by Aaron Hahn! Picked it like an apple off the tree! And now Furman screaming for it. Lewis wasn't able to get to him in time, and now it's a beautiful shake and drive. Lewis reverse layup is blocked away by Burica. The man from the Netherlands making up for no Kegley on the floor right now. And still a 5-point MVNU lead as there is a lid on the rim for 10 and white Jackson Lewis. McLaughlin perimeter right in front of the end of the Taylor bench. McKenzie between the legs bounce, rising for a long 2, clean again for Cameron McKenzie. Just 4 points for McKenzie, he's got 6. Pline just got 4 points, he's got 6 as well. So the supporting cast carrying the weight offensively for Mount Vernon Nazarene tonight. They lead once again by a game-high tying 7. Check that, make it 5. Mid-range jumper Hahn, who's got an early 7 to pace the Taylor scoring. The Cougars shooting 62% from the floor. The Trojans just 10 of 31. Hilliard open, didn't let her go from 3 as he was wide open. Mid-post right, Burica, good look kick. McLaughlin catch and shoot 3, front rim no. And Hahn continues to leave his imprint all over this game with another rebound. Kinsey glides up the near side around the Hahn screen, draws 3. And now the offense stops for a moment as Niehaus will hand off to Lewis. Taylor down by 5 with 6 players ready to come in during the next dead ball. Hahn, left block against McKenzie, bangs, turns, shoots short, tipped out. Hilliard tried to get it away from Lewis, and then Hilliard touched it twice and lost it into his own bench as both he and Lewis were going for that loose ball. Time it on the floor. We'll introduce you to the subs when we come back here on the Trojan Sports Network. 6:10 to go first half. Mount Vernon Nazarene leads by 5.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan. Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
.610 to go in the first half. Mount Vernon Nazarene shooting the ball beautifully, 58%. Just 2 of 8, though, from 3, so they're 9 of 11 inside the arc. The Trojans are 6 of 18 inside the arc, 9 of 31 overall for 29%, just 3 of 13 from 3. The Trojans have Caden Furman, Gavin Yoon, Jason Hubbard, Jacob Kinsey, and Grant Jones, who makes his first appearance of the night. Was at the MVNU lineup after the break. Circus layup no good for Kinsey as he turns and looks for a foul. Cameron McKenzie remains on the floor. Carter Pline has returned for Mount Vernon Nazarene, along with Cade Rugseger and Kyle Kegley. McLaughlin, that's Eric McLaughlin, rounds out their 5. Baseline right, Pline. McKenzie trying to find his 8th point of the night, halfway down and no, and a one-handed rebound by the right arm of Jason Hubbard. Hubbard, the Trojans' leading scorer, just 5 here with 5 to go here in the first half. Taylor down by 5. The Trojans reverse the ball to the near side. Hubbard can't hand it off to Furman. One dribble, hands off Kinsey. Thought about a straightaway 3, weaves. Jones attacks. Bully ball to the cup. Lefty layup and one for Jones, who screams back to his own bench. An attack and a hammer layup for Grant Jones. Fouls on Kyle Kegley, his first, second on MVNU. Cameron McKenzie exits. And one of the longest tenured Mount Vernon Nazarene players, Eddie Driscoll, will come in and make his first showing of the night. 6'3" senior out of Trenton, Ohio. Jones, the freshman, 0 of 2 from the free throw line this season. No more. Makes his first collegiate free throw. And now the Trojans turn up the full court press, down by a deuce once again, 27-25. They trap Driscoll, who wraps the pass around to McLaughlin. Near side arc in the front court and Pline. Furman defends him in the man-to-man. Kegley catching at his knees. Furman there, and they'll get Furman for the bump as he got just enough of Klein to alter him on the catch. It's the first one on Furman and the 5th one on Taylor in the half. Foul on the floor keeps it here with the visitors from Ohio with 20 seconds to shoot and 5:09 remaining before halftime. Mount Vernon Nazarene's led the whole way. They've led by as many as 7 a couple times. Their lead down to 2. Driscoll to the near corner and Pline. Around the screen, McLaughlin gives back to Pline, almost threw it behind him. Pline caught underneath the rim. He'll jump into Furman and draw the foul. That's number 2 on Caden Furman, the Trojans' second leading scorer. Number 6 on Taylor in the half. Pline to the line for a pair. 2 of 3 from the stripe tonight. Averages just 4 points per game in his sophomore season, but has 6 here tonight. And now 7 as he rises on those tiptoes and makes the first freebie. Aaron Hahn in for Taylor, replacing Furman, as Furman will go to the bench with his 2 personals along with Jeff Clayton. Mount Vernon Nazarene 4 of 6 from the stripe tonight. They get to the line 17 times per game. And it's the other guys making an impact tonight. Rugseger with just 2 points. He averages 14 per game. Kegley averages 16. He has just 2. That was the first points of the game. But 6 from McKenzie and 8 from Pline have helped MVNU lead by 4. Good job by Pline. Cuts off Hubbard. He doesn't care. Misses a long 2 from the baseline. The ball tapped away from Hahn and picked up by Driscoll as he moves to the front court for Mount Vernon Nazarene. McLaughlin had Kegley open down low. Good recovery by Jones. Driscoll cuts, gets the pass to the free throw line, guarded by Yoon. Out to the hash mark and Kegley. Screaming forward is Pline, gets it with 13 to shoot. Out to Kegley, thought about a 3 over Hahn. Puts it on the deck. McLaughlin lets her fly, and hits it in front of the Taylor bench. McLaughlin, an excellent three-point shooter at 49%. Makes his second triple of the night, and Taylor down by a game-high tying 7 once again. Every time in the last couple of moments that Taylor's gotten within striking distance, in the blink of an eye, Mount Vernon Nazarene pushes that difference back up to 7. Kinsey open for a 3, and he makes Mount Vernon Nazarene pay with a swish. So Kinsey gets into the scoring fun, his first basket, and the Trojans trail by 4 again. Pline left side high, swings it around the arc. Grant Jones guarding Kay Kegley. Passing it in, getting in Rugsager, had it, tackled down by Jones. Rugsager looks for a call that doesn't come. His second field goal, he's got 4. Good cut there from Rugsager, and able to haul in a high pass that he had to tap back to himself. 3:30 remaining in the first half. Jones fouled from behind by Kegley, who snaps around and disagrees with the call, his second personal against the big man. Number 2 on him, Carter Jones, who now comes in for Mount Vernon Nazarene, the only other man with a foul for the visitors. Grant Niehaus in for Jones as the Trojans go to a small lineup. And Kegley will exit. Jones back in. There's a bunch of guards out there for Taylor. Hahn, who does technically play the 5, but is listed as a guard. Niehaus, Yoon in the corner, off balance 3 is good, right in the grill of Pline. So Taylor going with a smaller lineup. Their deficit down to 3. Jones, bully ball, double team with Hubbard. McLaughlin trying to find his third 3. Halfway down and rattled out. That would have been demoralizing for Taylor as the Trojans had to help on Jones. And now an opportunity to tie with 3 to go before halftime. Hubbard weaves through defenders, pitching out to Hahn for the tie. Off the front of the rim as the Taylor students ready to go nuts down below us. 2:50 remaining before the half, 34-31, the Mount Vernon Nazarene advantage. Jones spins it, quick pass to the right baseline, and McLaughlin skipping near side to Jones. Calling for it is Pline, gets it with Yoon guarding him, 2 versus 2. A lot of ball movement, a lot of cutting, a lot of passing. Looking at the clock is Rugsager with 7. Runs into 3 Trojans, out to McLaughlin. Jones with 4, with 3. McLaughlin from the parking lot. Left side rim, no. Driscoll goes up, and it'll be a foul on the floor against Taylor's Grant Niehaus. Or was it? They point to Driscoll, and they're going to signal it's on Niehaus. And the Taylor faithful behind the bench across from us disagree with that vehemently. Kinsey out, Jackson Lewis back in for Taylor. That's the second one on Niehaus. But more importantly, that's number 7 on Taylor and sends Driscoll to the line for 2 free throws. Or for a 1-and-1 opportunity, excuse me. Clay Hilliard in for MVNU, replacing McLaughlin. And the Trojans will spell Niehaus with his 2 personals. And here comes the senior Luke Huffer. His housemates to our right, emphatic that their buddy is checked in. 3-point Mount Vernon Nazarene lead with 2:22 to go before halftime. The front end of a 1-and-1 here for Driscoll. Swish, and one more coming for the senior Driscoll, who has seen his time dwindle here in his senior year, but he has been an impact player for the last couple of seasons for Mount Vernon Nazarene, particularly during their 18-19 season when they went to the national tournament. Misses this one off the back of the rim, goes 1 for 2, and the rebound is Aaron Hans, who's been all over the game so far for Taylor. Hahn with 7 points and now 6 boards. He's got it on the left side, drives, cutting off his Pline on the baseline. 2 to go in the half, Taylor down by 4. Hahn hands off to Huffer to bring Taylor to within 1. Back rim, no. Hahn reads it, trying to tap it away, looks for a call as he thought he was pushed from behind, but it doesn't come. The Taylor faithful starting to get more and more angry with the less fouls they see being called in their favor. Pline between the circles, gives off to Driscoll, skips to Jones on the high right side, outside the arc. Near side Driscoll, Huffer defends him. A little dump off, still outside the arc, it will be Hilliard. Far side Jones with 1:40 to go before half. Contested 3, Rugsager off 1 foot, no good. Hubbard soars over the world and taps the rebound to himself. 92 seconds remaining in the opening half, Taylor with the rock down by 4. Hubbard's been quiet since the early 5 in the first couple of minutes. Yoon trying to make a statement. That's an air ball 3 as he was contested with on the high left side. Gavin just 1 of 5 from distance. Taylor 5 of 18 from downtown. MVNU still shooting 52% But the Trojans have made 2 more threes than the Cougars, and that's what's kept them to within 4. Mount Vernon Nazarene from right to left in blue. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Huffer all over Driscoll. Pline spins, trying to find an edge on Hubbard. His shot smacked away, but Pline got it back. Down the lane goes Hilliard. Contorts his body, but misses the layup. A minute to go before halftime as Hilliard will hustle back defensively. Pline guards Hubbard, head of steam for Jason. Stops, creates space, fade away, money, Jason Hubbard. Hubbard too strong for most players in this league, and he draws the home team to within a deuce. About 20 seconds in game and shot clock, and MVNU and their 8th-year head coach Jared Ronay will take a timeout. It will be a 30 or full, 30 or full, 30 or full, 30 for those of you scoring at home. 2-point MVNU lead.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is
43 and 0.2 seconds separates us from halftime. About 20 seconds on game and shot clock. 2-point MVNU lead out of the 30-second timeout. Rugsager around the Jones screen. Good defense by senior Bailey Hester. Hester trying to body him up. Ball knocked away. Driscoll got it back. Fades away from 8. Back rim, no. Hits the rim a second time. Jones has it tapped away into Driscoll. Ball loose on the floor. Hubbard is going to get it from Huffer. Hilliard cuts him off. Hubbard spins. Shot clock turned off with 20 seconds left. Hubbard realizes, and now Taylor will hold for the final shot, down by 2. Excellent on-ball defense there by Bailey Hester, trying to battle back from multiple leg injuries, and comes up with a big cause turnover here. Game clock to 6 and 5. Hubbard for the lead with a 3. Front rim is short. Jones will get it, and that will be how the first half will come to a close. A tough break for the Trojans at the end of the first half. But after trailing by as many as 7, they go to the break down by 2 to Mount Vernon Nazarene here on the Trojan Sports Network. We'll take a break and come back with the BSN Sports Halftime Report next here on the Trojan Sports Network. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greeks Pizzeria. It's our taste.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH, from our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments, in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. Basketball head coach Josh Andrews to talk about their game tonight here against Mount Vernon Nazarene. But before we get to all of that, we need to go to your hometown just outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. Big weekend, I would say, in Cincinnati for the local professional football team going to the Super Bowl. What's it like to see your hometown team go and play for the Lombardi Trophy here in a couple of weeks?
Who dey?
That's it?
That's it. No, I'm thrilled. I got a kick out of watching that game and seeing the resolve of that crew and being down 18, right? Very fun. And Cincinnati's a bonkers sports town, even though not a huge, not a major city, but been a long time for the Bengals faithful. I've probably wavered since being a Hoosier, but that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun for our family, folks growing up as Bengals fans, remembering from my dad and others when the Bengals came to town, in the late 60s as a franchise. So major, a lot of fun.
Did you or your father do the Icky Shuffle at all on Sunday? Do we have video of that at all?
We don't, but I can do a pretty mean Icky Shuffle. I grew up on that. That 89 Super Bowl, and I was in second grade or whatever that was, and that was a big deal. The Southwest Ohio shut down for that one. And a tough loss. That's kind of been the story of the Bengals in the Super Bowl. So really tough losses. So we're pulling for them.
Let the record show that Jackson Lewis, also from Hamilton, called that the Bengals were going to win the Super Bowl like 2 weeks ago, and I laughed at him. So now I'm sure I'm going to eat my words now that they're playing in LA. But it's good. It was good for Jackson to ride with the hometown team.
We got some Southwest Ohio guys in the program, and we'll be rooting hard. That's a big game and a big opportunity. So for the Cincinnati faithful. Made us proud.
Big day here on the Taylor campus. For the first time in over a month, the women's basketball team finally gets to have a home game. Also, it's the first game back, for a home game back, with the entire student body back for the spring semester. So what does all of that mean for your team? After having really strong crowds during J-term for the amount of people that are here from a student base, but there's a really good chance this place could be really rocking tonight.
I hope so. Hopefully, the calm before the storm with the weather, right? Literally. So maybe they all come out to get out before it gets nasty. But when we are in full academic term, we have great support here on campus. This community shows up, not just Silent Night. They show up, and I think especially on these double headers. So it's Crossroads League. It's February. These games count. They really count, and it would be. It'd be very exciting, and I think it'd be a shot in the arm for the fellows and for the women if the students come out here in full force. So we look forward to it.
Do I need to put a dinner request in for you? Because I know a lot of students will run out in between games and bring back bags of food. Do I need to put a request for a sandwich for you for them to bring back courtside for you?
If we could have somebody get down to a Gold Star chili and bring some cheese conies, it'd be an honor to the Bengals as well. That would be a great in-between game snack.
Okay, Southwest Ohio. Let's see if you can come through. Maybe at halftime for Coach Andrews. I'll be sitting there right next to the folks on the scores table. Let's talk about your game Saturday down there at Marion. Real tough place to play. One of the more talented teams in the Crossroads League over the last handful of years. We were talking before we started the year. They've just got just dudes everywhere. Real strong start. Shot over 50% for your team in the first half, but then end of the first half, beginning of the second half is where it got away. What led to those struggles after a real strong start defensively for your team?
Yeah, it's tough. You and I have talked this before. Things I've stolen from coaches that are much further along than I. But at the Division I level, they talk about 4-minute wars a lot. And with media timeouts and they break the game down into 10 4-minute segments, and you kind of learn to practice with that mentality, 4-minute wars. And that last 4-minute war of the first half and that first 4-minute war of the second half was a poor showing by our group. We were a little careless with the ball, a bit timid, and just not decisive and alert. The things we have to do against Marion's group, they're old, they're talented, they're really physical, and they imposed their will on you. The first 15, 16 minutes of that game was a real impressive performance by our guys, led by our leader in Jason Hubbard, who was fantastic. But if you took those 2 4-minute segments out, that game could have gone down to the wire, and I would have loved that opportunity for our guys and put them in that position. We've got to string together closer to 40 minutes. I've talked to Coach Martinez and other coaches, since that game. It's very rare that you feel like your team plays a full 40 minutes at any level of college basketball, just from start to finish. But we've got to get a lot closer to 40. That wasn't long enough. So a phrase we've stolen years ago, we constantly champion in our program, is we have to do right longer. Some of that is you need game experience to understand that. You have to learn how to play with what feels like fatigue. And you got to move the ball. You got to let the ball move instead of trying to overplay. And you got to meet assignments. You have to be defensive minded, and you got to have a level of toughness that our group has not rose to just yet. And I'd say just yet because I think it's coming. And I told you before the interview, we had a great practice yesterday, and these guys have kept their hands on the plow, and they have keep fighting, and I think we keep getting better. And so I think that's going to serve us well now and into the future.
You mentioned your conversations with other coaches here in the office. How unique is that? You look at some bigger schools, offices are maybe a little bit spread out, particularly with the basketball team if their arena is away from other people, but with the football team moving over here in the fall, we got the whole lot of us are here amongst two floors. What is that like, and able to not only be able to talk to people just every day around the water cooler is, per se, but also be able to pick their brains? Because there's been a lot of people in a lot of different situations just a few feet away from you.
Yeah, no, it's a real blessing. I think that might be a small college environment, strength in that you're closer, you're more connected. It's not separate entities. We've got a unity about us. All the coaches here root for each other, and that's not fluff. That's reality. We really all are pulling for each other and have similar struggles and that type of thing. So certainly with Coach Martinez, other guys in the department who've been at this longer than I have and have just seen the competitive mindset, the growth mindset, what it takes to be a lead at what you do. And of course, certainly there's lots of people outside of Taylor that I glean from, but that's been very beneficial. I appreciate that. Helps you keep your perspective. And the whole goal of all this is that our guys keep growing as people and as competitors. And in doing so, our team becomes stronger. Our program is becoming what we want it to become. And I believe we're on that trajectory. I really do.
We thank the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, giving us some time before the game today. I thought it was important to get the point about the community of the coaches and also because some other stuff just outside of basketball for you guys to hear that, even though we didn't have time for pregame. 35-33 the lead as we start the second half. MVNE with the lead and the ball. As their five starters on the floor, Jones, he has inside position on Gavin Yoon. Let me get that name out with a big block for the young fella. And an emphatic defensive start, and now we'll see if Taylor can tie or take their first lead. Far sideline, this is Jackson Lewis, the Taylor five starters out there as well. Lewis turns the corner, rips it away from Jones. Far side jabbing, Furman for the lead. Off the right side of the rim in front of his bench. That would have given Taylor a 36-33 lead. Other end, three is short on the try from MVNU. Mount Vernon Nazarene Klein missed it. It was spun out of there by Hubbard. Lewis, wide open track for a takeoff and a layup and an and one for Jason Hubbard. Hubbard started screaming for the rock near the volleyball line, kicked it into sixth gear, and got fouled as he tried to dunk it with authority. Last time we were here at home with the men's basketball team, Hubbard went bonkers in the second half, even though Taylor came up on the wrong side of the score against Huntington. Jason 1 of 2 from the stripe in the first half, and he starts off the second going 1 for 1. 10 for him, and Taylor takes their first lead of the night at 36-35. 1 minute into half numero dos. Rugsager v. Lewis. Open McLaughlin, didn't let her fly from three. He's been shooting the three ball well tonight. Double team on Pline on the right block by Taylor. Jones, right side circle, far side Kegley. The big man thought about a three as Hubbard collapses onto him. Far corner, Rugsager. McLaughlin points where he wants Rugsager to cut. 6 to shoot for Mount Vernon Nazarene. They trail by 1. Rugsager lost it with 3 underneath the hoop. He's caught in the air. Hahn steals it, and now he'll start the break. Up to Yoon near side, waiting for reinforcements. Yoon doesn't care. A floater is no good. As he tried to get his own miss, he goes sprawling to the floor. Near side, Rugsager, 5-on-4. McLaughlin passes up another open look at 3. Jones will not. His shot, though, skips off the rim. Hubbard got it, and then holding on to his forearm was Pline. McLaughlin, 2 of 5, shooting from 3 in the first half. He's a good three-point shooter on the year at 49%. But he's been really passive on some threes here in half 2. First lead of the night on the three-point play from Hubbard. It's a 1-point Taylor advantage as we play 2 minutes of second half basketball. Near sideline, Lewis as Taylor shoots on the basket to our left, turning the corner through contact. Furman got it, and the foul as he serpentined through 3 different Mount Vernon Nazarene defenders. That's the second on Carter Pline, and 3 quick fouls for Mount Vernon Nazarene in 1 minute and 59 seconds of action here in half number 2. Vernon to try to complete the and one. 85% from the stripe, clean. So the Trojans' top 2 scorers, who had 7 and 5 in the first half, come with back-to-back and ones to make a 6-0 Taylor run to start this half off, and they now have a lead of 4. Jones now has to deal with Hubbard. Lobs it in. McLaughlin tapped by Hahn, tried to save it over his head, but the ball went out of bounds before Aaron could save it. A different type of energy and gusto out of the Taylor men's basketball team here in half 2. MVNU's missed their first 3 shots of the half. Taylor is 2 for 4. Far corner, good contest, missed on the 3, but Hahn couldn't get the rebound on the Rucksager miss from the corner. Off-ball foul on Yoon as he was fighting for position with Jones, and Gavin unhappy with it. Same thing for his head coach, Josh Andrews, across from us. First on the lefty Yoon. Shot clock to 20 for the visitors. As Rucksager will get it in near baseline. Out to Kegley. Hahn daring him to take a 3. He'll pass it up. Pline holds the ball over his head, now kicks it back to where it came from in McLaughlin. Now back to Pline in the far corner. Off a screen, Rucksager, open look at 3, swish for Cade Rucksager. His first triple of the night drops for the 39% three-point man. And that big basket draws MVNU to within 1. Yoon to the near corner, and Lewis wanted to give it back to Yoon, could not. Hubbard turns and faces the basket. Now Furman off a screen, drives after a slight hesitation. Tries to back down Rucksager, almost traveled. Good save by Hahn, got Kegley in the air. Near corner Yoon gets those puppies measured and hits a 3 from the corner. Yoon caught it, look at the tippy toes, and let her fly from 3. Trojans back ahead by 4. 3 straight three-point plays by Taylor. Loose ball, Kegley turns and keeps it away from Lewis. Pass was tapped and he gets it back to Rucksager, far side. Jones, the lefty, for a 3, no good. And Hubbard will get the miss, but they'll get Jason for a push-off down low after the Taylor faithful thought Kegley got away with a push on their buddy Aaron Hahn. First on Jason, second one on Taylor in the half. A different type of intensity has come out for both teams here from the locker room. Taylor with a game-high lead of 4. They did not lead at all in the first half. Jones down low. Yoon blocked it from behind. Hahn slaps it out, and Hubbard gathers it in. Pitching forward to Lewis, trying to attack. Runs through a rip. Furman passes up an open look at 3. Near corner 2. Hahn, no good. Hubbard down low, and they'll get him for the offensive foul for chucking Carter Pline away. Second one on the Trojans' top scorer and rebounder, Hubbard, after he was clean in that category in the first half. 4-point Taylor lead. We have played almost 3 minutes and 30 seconds, 3:28 to be exact, here in the second half. Taylor trying to pick up a big win here against Mount Vernon Nazarene. 2 teams trying to make their way up in the Crossroads League standings as we hit the final month of the regular season. McLaughlin, no long 2 here. He's been very passive in the second half. Kegley thought about a 3 for a split second, now goes mid-post right. McLaughlin against the shorter Yoon. Hubbard coming to help. McLaughlin moves his way in with an old man YMCA move on the baseline and flips it in on a reverse layup for his first second half bucket. Back to within 2 goes MVNU. Yoon turns and faces the basket on the near sideline outside the arc. Off to Furman and then Hahn. Handoff Furman. Open look 3. Good denial. Rucksager, then a good recovery to deny the second look. Lose driving in. Furman lost it. Went off of his foot as Furman screams for a foul as he's slapping on his own right elbow. It'll fall on deaf ears, and Furman really upset as he will come out of the game in place of Jacob Kinsey as we hit the media timeout. Here 15:47 to go in half number 2. The Trojans holding on to a 2-point lead. And our referees will huddle up. We'll go to the timeout here on the Trojan Sports Network.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
out of the media timeout. Jacob Kinsey, the only sub out there for the Trojans. He replaces his freshman guard mate Jackson Lewis, Hubbard, Yoon, Furman, and Hahn to round out the 5. Full court pressure put on by Taylor as MVNU tries to get it in the backcourt. They will bring in Clay Hilliard as Kyle Kegley and Aaron Hahn have a pleasant conversation in the front court. While that's going on, Hilliard's trying to deal with the defense of the freshman Jacob Kinsey. Top of the key, Pline lobs it in, high post right side, Kay Kegley. Coming in to help Furman. Good positioning by the big man Kegley, using those long legs and that 6'10 frame to pivot, and find the angle and lay it in to tie the game at 42. Just the second field goal for MVNU's leading scorer, Kyle Kegley. 4 points on just 2 of 3 shooting. Hubbard, high right side, Kinsey. Baseline right drive, double team there with Kegley. Floats it back out, one hand whip to Hahn. Gets away from Kegley, now 3 to there. Hubbard, open look at 3, gets one to go on his 5th attempt of the night, and Taylor back in front by 3. 6 second half points for Hubbard, an old school 3-point play, and a long ball here for 0. Just 5 minutes gone, but it feels like we played 10. A high-intensity 5 minutes of the second half. Kegley wants to answer with a 3 of his own, and he does from the high left side at 32% on the year. The 6'10 big man who grew an inch last season. After the big bucket from Hubbard, it's back to a 1-point Taylor lead on the Kegley triple try. Here's Furman, a dynamic 3-point shooter. Kinsey defended by Hilliard. It's a couple Indiana guys going at it. Yoon, defenders there, has got Furman open for a minute, couldn't get it to him. Good defense by both Rucksager and Jones. Near side arc, inside of it Hubbard, 9 to shoot, defended by Pline. Rising, fading, contorting, missing off the back of the rim is Hubbard, and only blue jerseyed men are there to rebound for Mount Vernon Nazarene. Hilliard picks the bounce. They swing it near side. They want to go down low to Jones. Now do. Got his man away in Yoon. Far side Pline. A 3 over Furman. Spins off the rim. And they passed up an open look at 2 for a miss from 3 from Pline. Furman tried to slash in from the far right side. And now the Trojans play 5-on-5. Yoon a 3 over Jones is straight on, but off the near side of the rim. And Yoon now just 2 of 7 from downtown. 45 all here in the second half. Jump stop in the paint. Rucksager gets to Furman. Furman covers his mouth with both hands. Can't believe it. And he knows he's got to come out as that's the 3rd one on him tonight. Yoon and Furman will exit along with Hahn, Grant Niehaus, Luke Huffer, and Jeff Clayton all come in for Taylor. Cameron McKenzie, who was stellar in the first half for MVNU, replaces Carter Jones. McKenzie 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting, averages just 4 per game. Both he and Pline scored above their average by at least a bucket in the first 20 minutes. Kegley drives on, Clayton maneuvers in, and 1 on the foul on Jeff Clayton, and that's Jeff's 3rd. So exactly what the Trojans did not want to have happen. Back-to-back players picking up their 3rd foul as Kegley, the 6'10 man out of Ohio, the transfer from Urbana after they shut the Urbana doors a couple of years ago, has found a new home in Mount Vernon Nazarene, his 2nd season for the Cougars, and he'll complete the 3-point play. 10 for Kyle Kegley. And now he has found his rhythm on just 4 of 5 shooting, and that puts MVNU in front by 3, 48-45. Handoff Kinsey. Did not want to attack with Kegley down low, goes back outside to Hubbard. High right side, Niehaus. Clayton fakes the handoff, turns. One dribble, dumps it down to Hubbard. Head of steam, runs in the Pline, backs it out with 9 to shoot. Double team there from Hilliard. Crab dribble Hubbard. Kinsey a 3 over Hilliard. Front rim is no good. Kegley there to haul in the miss on a very stagnant possession for the Trojans. 13 minutes remaining in the second half. But again, with the intensity of this second half so far, it feels like we've played 10 or 11 or maybe even 12 minutes. McKenzie, open look at 3. It hits nothing but the bottom of the net. The problem was it didn't go through the rim before it did. And the air ball chance rained down on the 25% 3-point shooting freshman McKenzie. The first blemish for McKenzie offensively tonight, pouring in those big 6 points off the bench in the first half. The MVNU bench outscored Taylor by 3 in the opening stanza, 11-8. Clayton fakes the handoff to Huffer, will dish it off to Hubbard on the right side, rising from 18 feet, short, but hit the rim and bounced in clean. When you play on your home floor, sometimes bounces go your way. 15 for Hubbard, 8 in the second half. Taylor back to within 1. Air ball chance continuing to rain down on McKenzie. Hilliard driving, goes, and getting too many hands on him was Jacob Kinsey. That's Jacobs first and number 6 on Taylor. Next one will put Mount Vernon Nazarene in the 1-1 as we have 12:16 remaining in regulation time. And now they're going to put 15 seconds on the shot clock and reset to 20. Score says 48-47. 12:16 on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Do our officials think that it's 7 second-half fouls? I think that's what they might have thought it was. It is 6. Clocks are right, and we are ready to get back to play. McKenzie will get it in. Air ball chance continue to rain down. There's a terrible pass because it's intercepted by Hubbard. Foot race, Pline. Euro step, righty layup, Hubbard. Jason Hubbard is a mutant, and Taylor leads by 1, 49-48. They've made Jason Hubbard in a lab, and he is just thwarting every chance for Mount Vernon Nazarene tonight. Rugseger, Hilliard fakes a 3, got McKenzie in the air, but he stepped out of bounds on the fake. Ball going back to the Trojans. 49-48, home team. Jason Hubbard has come to life in the second half, scoring 10 of his team-high 17, making his game-high 17. And we've got another big second half brewing from Agent Zero here inside the Don Odell Arena. Niehaus to you-know-who. Baseline rip on Pline. Step back, give him again. The ball didn't even go in, and Hubbard's got that look in his eye. 19 for Hubbard, and the Trojans lead by 3. And that gets the Taylor students their second day back on campus for the spring semester re-engaged. Inside the arc, Rugseger trying to back Niehaus into the paint. Body blows there. Turnaround hook. Fouls waved off, but it's a 1-1 coming for Rugseger. They get Niehaus on the arm bar, his 3rd, and that's the 7th on Taylor. 1-1 here for Mount Vernon Nazarene. First trip to the line tonight for Cade Rugseger. Has 7 points on 3 of 6 shooting, averages 14 per game. An excellent free throw shooter at 83%. Kyle Kegley exits and Carter Jones comes in to spell him. So Jones is the tallest man on the floor right now, or make it Pline the tallest man on the floor at 6'5". So see if the Trojans try to exploit that matchup with the 6'7" Clayton and the 6'6" Hubbard out there as well. First of the 1-1, good for Rugseger. This to draw MVNU back to within 1. Taylor's biggest lead tonight has been 4 after not leading at all in the opening 20 minutes. Rugseger, the excellent free throw shooter, no doubt about both of those. 9 for him, and then McLaughlin was late to get to the scores table. Are they going to let him check in? It looks like they will for McKenzie. That ball already got inbounded by Taylor from Hubbard to Kinsey, and then the horn sounded. So it looks like McLaughlin did make his way to the table in time. Some pizza's been delivered for the Mount Vernon Nazarene women's basketball team, as this is supposed to be just the men's game here tonight, but with that gigantic snowstorm, about a foot of snow expected to come in here to the area starting tomorrow. Everybody moved up their women's basketball games to Tuesday. We got doubleheaders across the Crossroads League tonight. 1 point Taylor lead. Hubbard trying to get another one right side. He got fouled on the arm by Jones. His second, and so Hubbard will go to the line for 2. Jason's been wearing out the parquet floor in the right corner inside the arc across from us in the last handful of minutes. Every time up the floor, he just sets up shop there, gets the pass, and then goes to work. 2 free throws here for Hubbard, who continues to climb up the top scoring charts here at Taylor University. The first of 2 perfects. 20 for Hubbard, 13 in the second half. Moved into the top 20 over the weekend, and he's on pace to really put his name up there in that top 10 list. Just a phenomenal player to watch the last 4 years here at Taylor. Second one over the front rim and good. 21 for Jason. He's made 4 free throws in a row, 4 for 5, and Taylor's lead back up again to 3. They've led by as many as 4. Mount Vernon Nazarene's led by as many as 7, but that was all the way in the second half. Good read by Clayton to step in front of the pass and intercept. Clayton, a fan favorite, as now Kinsey brings it up near sideline. Clayton sets that screen. Kinsey turns the corner. Wall to wall. Kinsey couldn't put her in, but Jacobs going to the line for 2. An aggressive offensive mindset for those wearing white here in half number 2. First one on Clay Hilliard. Hilliard, the only Indiana native on the Mount Vernon Nazarene. Actually made that 2. Trace Ramsey. We have not seen Ramsey tonight. In his first season at MVNU, the senior transferred in from UC San Diego. He's from up north in Valparaiso. First second half scoring for Kinsey. We know all about Clay Hilliard. Lit it up here in the first half a year ago on this floor. Then it was Jevin Knox who took the baton from him and continued the offensive onslaught in the second. Kinsey makes them both. His freshman backcourt mate Jackson Lewis, the big Bengals fan out of Hamilton, Ohio, comes in. 5 for Kinsey, and that matches the Taylor lead of 5. They trap Hilliard in the far corner, picks up his dribble, trying to find help, finds the cutting Carter Jones, whips it away before Niehaus could poke it away. Pline picks up the bounce, bullets it up top, McLaughlin. Handoff Hilliard, guarded by Lewis. Down the lane he goes. Nice strip by Lewis. He said, Hubbard saying it went off the knee of Hilliard. The referee underneath the hoop said it went that way. They changed the call on the strip from Jackson Lewis. Adam Kossitz from the Taylor men's basketball team points. We're going back to the home team. You can't see Noah Ross standing there, but he has his hat pulled below his eyes. 5-point Taylor lead. A much more impactful second half here for Taylor. Almost halfway home, 55-50 home side. Taylor running some weave action. Now it's Lewis far side. Sweet spot, right block Hubbard. Try to throw his head in the air to get the call. Wide open, Jackson Lewis, 3-ball off the right side of the rim, as that would have sent this place into hysterics. The Taylor students tried to will it home. It was off the right side of the rim. Here comes MVNU the other way, down by 5 as we cross the halfway point of the second half. Hilliard, top of the key, suspended far side. Rucksager 3 as he got free, and then he got fouled on the try by Niehaus, who collapsed on him late and got him around the waist. It wasn't a big touch, but it was enough to thwart Rucksager. 12 for him, and he goes to the line for a chance at a 4-point play as Niehaus picks up foul number 4. That's the 8th one against Taylor. A crushing blow for Taylor right there, as you send the almost automatic Rucksager to the line. 39% from deep in his sophomore season. He has started to find his rhythm after just 4 in the first half. He will get the soft roll. 9 after halftime. He's got 13 to pace Mount Vernon Nazarene. 30-second timeout for the Cougars. The 4-point play brings Mount Vernon Nazarene to within 1 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
One-point Taylor lead. They have outscored Mount Vernon Nazarene 22-19 here in the second half. Taylor's led by as many as 5. MVNU led by as many as 7. It was 3 3-point plays by the Trojans. Ball tapped. Hubbard trying to tap it back to the middle. Hubbard couldn't get it away from Jones, and Taylor gives it away for just the 3rd time here tonight. And now Mount Vernon Nazarene looking for their first lead since early on here in the second half. Rucksager had a 4-point play, lost on the way up, but got it back. McLaughlin bluffs a 3 out to Rucksager. 3 wide open near side. Swish as Taylor lost Rucksager in a lot of commotion. 16 for Rucksager, 12 in the second half. He's on a 7-0 run. And it's all been Rucksager after Taylor led 55-50. 7 straight from the sophomore, and now the Trojans down by a deuce. 3-2 zone for MVNU. Huffer's a zone buster with a 3 in the right corner is perfect. And the Trojans back in front by 1 on the sharpshooting tray from Huffer. His housemates loved that one to our right. Kegley back in, defended by Clayton with the 3 personal fouls. McLaughlin calls for it, now gets it. Near side Jones, the chant is Taylor defense. Kegley leans back, trying to get a second 3, nope. And Hubbard hauls in the miss for the Trojans, his 8th, to go with his game-high 21 points. 1-point Taylor lead, 8:25 remaining here in half number 2. as the Trojans try to climb their way up from the bottom of the Crossroads League standings. Hubbard turns, face the basket, rising over Pline, and Pline continues to not learn the lessons that Jason Hubbard has taught him up and down this second half. Mid-range, money time for Hubbard, 23 for the All-American candidate. Rugsager right block, McLaughlin finally lets a three go and hits after being passive for the majority of this second half. McLaughlin with now 11, 5 in the second half, and we're tied at 60. But then Jackson Lewis says, nope, I want the lead right back with a blistering drive from end to end. 7:38 to go in the second half. McLaughlin, free throw line. Hubbard let him go right down the lane as he overplayed his shoulder, and McLaughlin made him pay. It's a 5-0 McLaughlin run, and back and forth we go with the game tied at 62. Lewis will jog to the far side, and a timeout called by Taylor head coach Josh Andrews. They've got a 30 and 4 fulls. It'll be their last 30, and we'll step away with 7:23 to go in the second half. Both teams have 62 points.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
.23 left to go here in the second half. Game tied at 62. As McLaughlin has scored 5 in a row for the Mount Vernon Nazarene cause. Furman back in. Rugsager does not bite on any of the jabs. Furman caught outside to Hahn, who came in during the timeout. Hubbard, right side, has been great in the second half. Turns the corner on Pline through 3 defenders. Jason Hubbard doesn't care. Throw the whole kitchen sink at him. Jason Hubbard is not human. 25 for the All-American candidate, and the Trojans back in front by 2. And then Lewis gets greedy and gets called for the bump. That's number 9 on Taylor in the half as we just crossed 7 minutes to go in the second half. And we'll come to a media timeout. 6:59 to go in half number 2. A 1-1 coming for Mount Vernon Nazarene out of the break as neither team can get a stop. We'll see if Mount Vernon Nazarene can level our game once again. We're back with more next on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
We've had 5 ties here in the second half. A couple of lead changes as well after MVNU took the lead from the jump. And we had 1 tie in that first half. That was it, though. But it's been Cade Rugsager and Jason Hubbard trading blows for their respective sides. Rugsager's got 16 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 12 here in the second half, and he's 3 of 4 from three-point range. And Rugsager makes the first of a 2-shot of a 1-and-1 opportunity. Jason Hubbard 25 on 10 of 17 shooting, 7 of 8 in the second half, 1 of 1 from 3, also has 8 rebounds. And Rugsager knocks them both down. He's got 18, 14 after half, and we're tied for the 6th time here in the second half. 64 all, Taylor with the ball. Clayton still playing with those 3 personal fouls. Hahn, Clayton, Lewis, Furman, and Hubbard. 4 of the 5 starters out there for the Trojans. Furman slipped, is able to keep the ball with him dribbling-wise. Furman, 3-point shot, misses off the left side of the rim. Furman just 1 of 4, but Clayton gets it back. Hubbard for a 3-point try is good, and he stands there and poses like a statue. Jason Hubbard with 28 points, and Taylor leads by 3, their biggest lead in some time. Kegley against Clayton. McLaughlin steps in, will pass up an open look again. Clayton fights through a screen and keeps Kegley in front of him. Rugsager off a screen. Good recovery from Lewis. Far side, Jones with 10 to shoot. Hahn guards him. McLaughlin a 3 over Hubbard. Good, as Hubbard upset with himself. He had to help off on Jones. And after passing up open looks left and right early on, McLaughlin shooting freely. 10 second half points for his 16, and we're tied at 67. 7th tie of the second half. Right sideline, Hubbard, with now Kegley in his 6'10 frame guarding him. Hahn to Clayton, handoff, Hahn fakes a 3, now Jones guards him. Volleyball line, Furman with 6 and 5. Trojans got to go quick with 4. Hubbard with 3, with 2, got to a spot. A prayer goes up, it's an air ball, and McLaughlin will have it. And it's a shot clock violation going back to Taylor. Just the second miss for Jason here in this second half, and a bad possession there for the Trojans. Full timeout Taylor as Yoon has come back into the lineup. 5:29 to go second half. Don't go anywhere. 67 all here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
A thrilling second half finds us even at 67 apiece with 5:20 remaining in the second half between Taylor and Mount Vernon Nazarene. Cougars with the ball going from left to right in blue. Jones in the left corner, the lefty guarded by Yoon. Rugsager got away from Lewis and powers his way in for another deuce. It has been a Rugsager and Hubbard tit-for-tat second half. Rugsager with 20, 16 after halftime, and MVNU takes a lead of 2. 69-67, 5 to go in this one. Hubbard, near side this time, Kegley guarding him. MVNU trying to use the length to make Hubbard's life difficult. Yoon will wrap a bounce pass around to Hubbard, back to Yoon, keeps the ball away, dribbled off his feet, pitching out to Lewis with 8, weaves his way in, falls down, keeps the dribble alive with 4, into the paint. Furman, a desperation lay-in is good, as MVNU screams for a travel that doesn't come, and we're level at 69 with 4:35 remaining in the second half. Hello to whoever those women's basketball players from Mount Vernon Nazarene are waving at. In the ball tapped, near side right to Pline. Kegley holds between the circles, Hahn defends, good little whip bounce pass into McLaughlin. Jabbing Rugsager, Lewis guarding him. Rugsager turns, fades from just inside the free throw line, caught the front rim and dropped. Rugsager with 22 points to pace MVNU tonight, and they go back in front by 2. 4:07 and counting here in the second half. Hubbard inside the right side arc, Kegley guards him. Left-hand crab dribble, pitching out to Hahn, still inside the arc, turns the corner, got his away from Jones. He was wide open and passed up an open layup. Yoon won't pass up this open look from three, but it's off the back of the rim as Hahn was right there and could have tied it at 71. Did not know that Jones had spun himself all the way underneath the hoop. And now MVNU will try to get a two-possession lead for the first time in forever. Ruksager off balance, missed it, but they'll get Lewis for the foul as he ambushed him. Lewis was all over Ruksager there. That's the 10th one on Taylor with 3:35 to go in the second half. And Ruksager back to the line, who has been automatic from the stripe tonight, a perfect 5 of 5. Ruksager 5 for 7 here in the second half. Had just 4 first half points, has 22 here in the second. And he misses the front end of a two-shot trip. Taylor catches a break here. Yoon and Lewis out. Lewis walking a little bit gingerly to the end of the Taylor bench. Luke Huffer and Jacob Kinsey back in for the Trojans. No changes to the MVNU 5. They've run with this 5 for the majority of this second half. Second one for Ruksager, good. 23 for him. 19 after the half. And it's a 3-point MVNU lead. Still just one possession. Huffer hit a big 3 earlier in the half. Will bounce off to his classmate Hubbard. Kegley pokes it away. Hahn trying to get it back, but Kegley keeps it away. But then Hubbard thieves it away. Hahn has it taken away, almost falling off the backcourt. Kegley goes in, off balance, throws it up, misses, as that was all over the place. The Taylor fans screaming for a foul or a turnover across from us that doesn't come. And then Kegley went spinning and twisting and twirling, and then threw it up, almost rolled it in. The foul is on the Trojans, Jason Hubbard. And it's a 2-shot trip for the big man, Kyle Kegley. And a timeout for Taylor. Full timeout for the Trojans. They've got 2 left. MVNU's got 4 full timeouts left. 2 free throws for Kyle Kegley, trying to make it a 5-point MVNU lead with 3:14 to go in the second half.
When you need the fuel to be your nephew's #1 fan, Holiday Inn Express. We're there, so you can be too.
Three-point Mount Vernon Nazarene lead. That's been the biggest margin they've led by here in this half. Taylor took their first lead at 36 to 35 on an and one play to start. MVNU's had to battle back here. They're in the double bonus with 3:14 to go. Kegley with 2 free throws here. His first trip to the line tonight. Actually, his second one. He's 1 of 1. And now 2 of 2. One more to come from Kegley. He's got 11 points, 3 in double figures for Mount Vernon Nazarene, 23 for Ruksager, 16 for McLaughlin, with 10 coming here in the second half. The problem for the Trojans, just 2 in double figures. The Yeoman's work for the 28 for Jason Hubbard, 10 for Furman, and that's it. They're down by 5 here. That's the biggest margin they've trailed by here in the second half. 3:05 left to go here in the half. Kegley was knocked away from Hubbard. He explodes to the rim and dunks with 2 hands as Kegley got tripped up and then left the lane open for a Hubbard jam. Taylor back to within 3, down 74-71. Can they get a stop here with less than 3 to go in the second half? Jones into Ruksager. Help comes from Hubbard. His shot up and in for another deuce. Ruksager has been a man on a mission in the second half with 21 of his 25 after halftime. Taylor back down by 5. They have had no answer for Rugsager in the second half. MVNU has had no answer for this man, Jason Hubbard. Sweet spot, blows by Kegley. 3 guys there, whips it out to Kinsey. Top of the key, Furman 3, off the left side of the rim. The Trojans needed that one desperately. Furman, after making his first 3, has missed 4 in a row, and the Trojans need a stop here, down 5, as we inch closer to 2 minutes remaining in the second half. Pline to Kegley, almost fumbled it away as Hubbard now defends McLaughlin. He has it. Thought about a 3. Now Rugsager guarded by Kinsey. Far side, Kegley bluffs a 3 with Hahn. Less than 2 to go, 5 to shoot. Jones, a heave of a 3 is off the back of the rim. Good box out by Kinsey. Here come the Trojans near side with Furman down 5. Between the legs bounce, waits for reinforcements. It's Hubbard. Step into 3, skips off the back of the rim. That's his first miss in 3 tries. 1:40 to go, second half. Taylor still down by 5. Kinsey knifes in for the steal. Couldn't get to it as Pline will hold the ball. Full timeout as MVNU brings the ball to the front court. Leading by 5, 76-71 as the Cougars go for the season sweep of the Trojans here in the 21-22 season.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
.94 seconds left to go here in the second half of a good one from Odell Arena. The Trojans have led by as many as 5. But it was a 7-0 run from Cade Rugsager, a 4-point play. And another 3-point basket as well turned a 55-50 deficit to a 57-50 lead. MVNU's outscored Taylor by 3 here in the second half, 41-38. 96 seconds remaining in the second half. Jones will get it in front of his own bench across from us. Mount Vernon Nazarene in blue. They shoot on the basket to our right. 8th-year head coach Jared Ronay holds his right hand in the air, tells Kegley to wait before they go. The clock is MVNU's friend here, leading by 5. Jones straight away. Pline wasn't there. Now he gives off to Rugsager, who's been their best player in the second half. Whips it far side. Pline fakes the 3 as Hubbard guards him. Pline, a little right-hand set shot is good for 2. First second half scoring for Pline, and he's the 4th double-figure scorer for MVNU. They lead by 7 with 1:05 to go. Taylor needs buckets, and they need to go quick. As we had a minute to go here in the half in regulation. Hubbard trying to get to the baseline. Fade away on Kegley. Cash for Hubbard. 32 for Jason Hubbard, who's been everything you could want out of a young man this evening. Full timeout, Taylor. They've got 1 timeout left. They're down by 5 with 54 and 0.8 of a second left in regulation.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
32 points for Jason Hubbard. His first 30-point game of the season. And he's knocking on the door, I think, of his career high as well. He's 3 points away from that, but right now Taylor needs a defensive stop with 55.6 seconds left, down by 5. Full court press, but on by Taylor. Jones looking for help. Throws it into McLaughlin. Back to Jones in the backcourt. He's got 3 seconds to get it across. Near side McLaughlin. Up the floor, and Vicey finding Jones. Open Rugsager. Now they just got to kill some clock here. Taylor in the double, or MVNU in the double bonus. Hubbard with 3 fouls, guarding Rugsager. Around the arc, off to Jones with 12 to shoot. And they'll get Hubbard for the reach-in. His 4th. And now Taylor needs some free throw misses from Carter Jones. He's the one that you would want, shooting just 54% from the line this season in his freshman year. Trying to make it a 3-possession game with both freebies. The first one from the lefty. Rolls off the rim. So the best Jones can do here is make it a 6-point MVNU lead with 36 6/10 of a second left. Second one rolls in and rattles home. 5 for Jones. That's his first point after halftime. Taylor down by 6, 79-73. 33 seconds left to go in this one. Hubbard, volleyball line, Kinsey. 28 seconds left. They get Furman open. Contested 3. Rugsager fouled him, and there's no call. And then Hans got to foul Kegley down low. Rugsager came in and got Furman right on the elbow, and there was no foul call. They're going to say that the ball was blocked before Furman got fouled. Foul is on Hahn, his first, and now Kegley to the line for 2. Kegley's been good from the stripe tonight, 12 points, or 2 for 2, excuse me, is Kegley, 3 of 3. He's got 12 points, and now he's got 13. Taylor came in averaging just 64 points per game. They put up 73 tonight. The problem is the second best scoring defense in the league at 69 points per game has allowed 81 to MVNU as Kegley makes them both. They average 78. Taylor down by 8. Their biggest deficit here tonight with 17 seconds left. Furman drives right side of the lane, contorts his shot, smacked out of bounds by Kegley, who trailed the play nicely. It's been this 5 on the floor for pretty much the whole second half for MVNU. 14 seconds left. Taylor down by 8. Hubbard fumbles it, gives it off to Lewis, throws his head in the air, and he got Pline on a bailout. Lewis threw that head in the air, and Pline got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Just the 6th one on MVNU. As the Taylor fans and the students give the officials a Bronx cheer, thinking there are a couple fouls that haven't gone their team's way tonight. 10 seconds left. Taylor down by 8. Furman will fade away over Rugsager off the bottom of the glass, nothing else. Kegley will rebound it, and that will be how this one comes to a close. The Trojans led 55-50. MVNU closes on a 31-18 spurt, and they win tonight by 8, 81-73 to take the season series over the Taylor men's basketball team. We're back to wrap this one up on the Ivanhoe's postgame show next here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 4 different levels of membership for you to choose from. Each level receives complimentary season tickets, while the Athletic Director's Circle and Trojan MVP levels receive gifts from the athletic department. Over the years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-4331 or log on to TaylorTrojans.com and click on the Trojan Club tab at the top of the homepage. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University student athletes. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria, it's our taste.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online tire finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Back inside Odell Arena, Rick Johnson and the Taylor men's basketball head coach Josh Andrews. I really don't like that we keep having these conversations after these really close games. You guys get up 55-50, tied the game at 69 with 4:41 to go. MVNU closes on a 12-4 spurt.
Sure.
What led to that success, particularly those last 4 minutes? Cade Rutsager was phenomenal for them tonight.
Yeah, Rutsager had some big plays. We talked that after the game quickly, but they decided they were going to attack our smaller guards, our quick skill guards, and a good game plan by them. They're big and they're physical. We felt like we had the game plan. We felt like we were in even the adjustments in game that we wanted to make, and we had stretches where we defended like champs. We had stretches where we had lulls. I didn't think we accepted that challenge as the smaller guard against the bigger as a team D, not on any one guy. We didn't accept that challenge for reasons I'm not really sure. Our defense is kind of what we've hung our hat on this year. That's probably the first time in conference that I feel like we weren't able in game to adapt to get the stops that we needed. For this team this year, when we score 73 points, we're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah.
We're just not an elite scoring team as it stands right now. And if you'd have told me, this is an aside, and I'm sure you'll bring it up, but if you'd have told me we'd have had 19 assists to 4 turnovers, I'd have told you we'd have ran them out of the gym. So it's just a unique stat line to look at, and I credit Jared and their squad. They out-executed us, especially down the stretch. That's a tough one as a coach, but we've got to get better there, and got things to clean up to keep getting better.
They are so good outside, and Kegley's phenomenal inside. Was there any thought of putting Jason on Rutsager just to slow him down? Because McLaughlin was passing up a lot of open looks, then he got hot there late. Was there any thought of maybe putting Jason just to kind of stop Rutsager a little bit?
We had Jason on McLaughlin, and he's hot on Jason. We got Jay being the guy that's discouraging the scores at the rim. Rutsager got a later 3, but it wasn't the perimeter stuff. It was at the rim. And so we were trying to take that pass away and discourage even the entry, and our alertness wasn't at the level it needed to be. That's just reality. We didn't execute. Felt like what we had put together could beat that, and our guys didn't do it to the level that we needed to, and that's on me and the staff.
Out of the 86 second-half points, there were a total of 68 scored by 4 players, 3 for MVNU. Rutsager had 21 in the second half. McLaughlin had 10. Kegley had 12. And Jason Hubbard had 25 in the second half on 10 of 13 shooting. I mean, we've seen this numerous times. It seems like when he flips a switch, just buckle up, right? I mean, what's it like to see that up close? When you're setting him up, I think you wore out a spot in that right corner. They had no answer for him any which way tonight.
Yeah, when his mind's right, he's really good. We wanted to get him to the line more. We couldn't get to the bonus, and that's not an excuse, on the officials. We just didn't. In the way we attacked and the way we played, it didn't get us to the bonus. I think that could have really helped us. We wanted to attack bodies and be physical and play through them. Didn't do that to the level we needed to. Jay was fantastic. He's played as well as anybody in the league for a while now, and he's just an elite player. And we got to continue to do things as a team, both sides of the ball. I've got to be better, and as a group, we've got to hit some clutch shots. Got to meet some defensive assignments. I keep coming back to that, but then we're praising Jay in a monster win for our program instead of a discouraging defeat. But the desire is there, and if our guys will stay with it, which I believe they will, I think we can find success still.
How do you have to try to keep building up guys like Gavin and Furman? You need those guys to be your second and third scorers. They've been both in a little bit of a shooting rut here the last month or so. How do you try to keep building them up? We've seen guys, over our time here, both for your team and for other teams, hit that sophomore slump where there's a ton of video on you now. How do you try to keep them going, knowing you're going to need them down the stretch here in February?
Well, they got to know that I'm in their corner, and I am. I believe in both of those guys. They're both terrific talents. They have so much ability. They're striving for consistency. It's a maturity thing. It'll come back, and they're going to have continued great careers. and I'd like to see it happen, starting Saturday. But that's a one day at a time thing. Without getting too philosophical or the spiritual side of it, it's a great picture of what goes on. Sometimes you work really hard at it and you get no results. And can you stay with it? Do you trust the process? Can you believe in the coaches and in your teammates? Sometimes can you believe in yourself? They both got it, and they played really hard tonight. Good things are going to happen, and they're fantastic young men. So we look forward to seeing them fill up stat sheets going forward.
Yeah, KJ's and one was phenomenal. You guys started with back-to-back and ones and a three-point shot to start that second half. Yoon was gunning away, wasn't shying away from open shots. Talk about the 4 turnovers. Turnovers have been an issue for your guys this season. How do you? What led to such great ball control tonight?
Sure.
I know that you guys didn't shoot it like you wanted to, but holding on to the ball, giving the ball away has been an issue for you guys this year.
And I'm not, with no sarcasm, if I had that answer.
You'd have 4 every night.
If I had that answer, we'd have 4 every night. If I had that answer, we wouldn't be where we are from a win-loss standpoint. We just had just times where the way a team plays or the way they attack certain actions or guys in certain spots, we're just striving for that. And, hey, it makes it fun to coach, and we didn't shoot a great percentage, but it sure beats giving them the ball and them going the other way. We got shots up. So, hey, we got to I feel like I'm answering the same way. We got to keep working at it. If we have that level of focus offensively and share the ball and get the 19 assists to 4 turnovers, we're going to find some wins here. But we just got to keep pushing. We got to stay at it.
Place is rocking tonight. Good to see the students back here after being away for J-term, and got a pretty good feeling once we dig out from this 9 feet of snow that's coming over the next 36 hours. It'll be another big crowd here on Saturday. Josh, thanks for the time, and we'll talk to you before you guys play Bethel on Saturday.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
That's the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews. We're back to wrap it up next here on the Trojan Sports Network. Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland is proud to support Taylor University Athletics. Located at 148 South Main Street, Best One is open 6 days a week. Owner Mike Pearson and his staff offer replacement tires from brands like Bridgestone, Firestone, and Goodyear. Customers can also shop for tires from the comfort of their home by using the online Tire Finder. When it's time for mechanical repairs, Best One's ASE certified technicians can perform a wide range of services to get their customers back on the road. And those same technicians can do repairs on fleet vehicles as well. Taylor Athletics says thank you to Mike Pearson and everyone at Best One Tire and Auto Care Upland.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
A look at our beautiful sponsors, including our newest sponsor, UBS. Big old banner right up there at the top. The Montage Financial Group of UBS, Edward Jones, OPS, Forward Orthopedics, MGH, Holiday Inn Express, Best One Tire and Auto Care of Upland, Ivanhoe's, and BSN Sports. We thank them for all of their support of Taylor Athletics, and we welcome UBS to our Taylor Athletics family as well. Tough one for the Taylor men's basketball team tonight. They were down 2 at the break. They led by as many as 5. They tied the game at 69 with 4:41 to go. But after that, MVNU outscored the Trojans 12-4 after that tied game at 69, as Taylor went just 2 for 8 over that final stretch, and they come away on the wrong side of an 81-73 defeat tonight. That drops Taylor to 8-15 overall, 4-9 in the Crossroads League. MVNU moves to 16-8, 7-6 in Crossroads League action. Mount Vernon Nazarene had 4 players in double figures, led by Cade Rugsager's team-high 25 points. He had 21 after halftime, shot 6 of 8 from the floor after the break, 3 of 4 from 3. He was 8 of 12 overall and 3 of 6 from downtown in the game this evening. Also shot a blistering 6 of 7 from the free throw line this evening. Eric McLaughlin caught fire late, had 16 points, 10 after halftime. Went 6 of 10 from the floor and 4 of 8 from 3. He passed up a lot of good looks early on in that second half, but then got his shooting stroke going there in winning time and closing time in the second half. 14 for Kyle Kegley, their leading scorer coming in on the year. He was held 3 points below his season average. He had 12, though, in the second half. Carter Pline finished with 10, but had just 2 after halftime. 5 for Carter Jones, 1 in the second half. And then playing majority, those are the 5 that pretty much played the majority of the second half. Cameron McKenzie had a spot appearance in the second half, had 6 points, but that was all in the first half. 1 for Gichero Barica, 3 for Clay Hilliard in his return to his home state, and 1 for Eddie Driscoll. But it was the starters that did the majority of the second half damage tonight for MVNU. In total, Rugsager, McLaughlin, and Kegley combined to score 43 of Mount Vernon Nazarene's 46 second half points. All 46 points scored by MVNU starters in the second half. Taylor had 2 double-figure scores led by Jason Hubbard's game-high 32 points. His season-high 32, the first 30-point game of his senior season. Jason had 25 after the break, was 10 of 13 in the second half from the floor, 2 of 3 from 3. Finished 13 of 22 overall, 2 of 7 from three-point distance. He also went 4 of 5 from the line. Caden Furman was Taylor's only other double-figure scorer, had 5 in each half, was 4 of 12 from the field after sitting out last game with an injury, was 1 of 6 from 3, and 1 of 1 from the line. 7 for Aaron Hahn, all in the first half. 6 for Gavin Yoon, 5 for Jackson Lewis, 3 apiece for Luke Huffer and Grant Jones. Jacob Kinsey had 5 off the Taylor bench, and Jeff Clayton had 2. Playing but not scoring tonight for the Trojans, Grant Niehaus and Bailey Hester. That is now back-to-back 20-plus second halves at home for Hubbard. He had 20-plus in the second half against Huntington here last week. Jason has now scored at least 20 points in 10 of 11 games and 12 of the last 15. So between Hubbard, Rugsager, McLaughlin, and Kegley, they combined to score 68 second-half points, and there were 86 scored in the second half in total. Rebounding numbers, Taylor lost the rebounding battle by 6, 39-33. They did have the edge on the offensive glass, 13-9, but they scored just 8 second-chance points, kind of a calling card. You want to get about 1 point per offensive rebound. Taylor was below that mark this evening. MVNU had 11 second-chance points on their 9 offensive boards. Here in our post-game conversation, Taylor turned it over just 4 times tonight, 3 in the second half. They had 19 assists on 28 baskets, 4 assists for Hubbard, 3 apiece for Lewis and Hahn, and 3 for Kinsey off the Taylor bench. For MVNU, they had 12 assists on 27 hoops. They turned it over 10 times. Carter Jones led the way with 5 assists as he stuffed the stat sheet tonight with 5 points, 6 boards, and 5 dimes. Taylor had 6 steals, 2 apiece for Hubbard and Hahn, 2 steals for MVNU, 1 apiece for Kegley and Jones. 7 blocks for the Cougars tonight, 3 from Cade Rugsager. Taylor had 3 blocks, 1 from Hubbard, 1 from Yoon, and 1 from Jeff Clayton. Shooting was at a hot clip in the second half. MVNU shot 56% from the field. Taylor was 52%. The Trojans, though, just 31% from three-point range, 4 for 13. Mount Vernon Nazarene was 43% from downtown. They went 6 of 14 from deep. Taylor made all 6 of their free throws in the second half, going 8 for 9. MVNU was 12 of 14 in the second half. They were also 18 of 23 overall for 78% this evening. So Taylor will move on. They will get ready to take on Bethel here at home on Saturday as all the students are back. Their second full day of classes today, but We got about a foot of snow coming in here starting about tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon. It's going to go all the way till Thursday night, which is why they moved the women's game up to today, a game that the women's basketball team was victorious in. They won by double figures, putting almost 100 up on the board, 97 to be exact, against MVNU tonight. Special thanks to Caroline and Journey, our fantastic crew. The executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is Cameron Andrew. With the loss tonight, Taylor falls to 8-15 overall, 4-9 in the Crossroads League. Mount Vernon Nazarene moves to 16-8, and they're 7-6 in Crossroads League action. We're back at it here inside Odell Arena on Saturday as part of a women's and men's basketball doubleheader against Bethel. That excuse me. One sec. All right, we're good. Whew. First doubleheader in over a month will get to you after yapping for 4 hours on end. So to close our point, women's and men's doubleheader Saturday, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, Taylor versus Bethel from here inside Odell Arena. Final tonight, Taylor falls to Mount Vernon Nazarene 81-73 as Mount Vernon Nazarene turns a 69-all tie with a 12-4 run to end the game, and they win their 16th game of the year. And that will move the Trojans to 4-9 in Crossroads League play. Back out Saturday against Bethel. If you can't make it out, we've got a seat for you here on the Trojan Sports Network. This has been a presentation of Taylor Men's Basketball on the Trojan Sports Network. Until Saturday, we say goodnight from Upland, Indiana.